Steele of Britain, Ndiwa, Kenya, Morel, Britain, Tanui, Kenya, then McKean and Whittle, Ole Marai, another Kenyan, Redwine from the United States, Everett from the States, Sharp and Hurd from Great Britain. William Tanui is another that we should watch with interest here. The Kenyan was last year's world #1, the 27-year-old who remarkably didn't take up running until he was 21 and then zoomed through the world rankings. Lots of big races last year. There he is, and beat the Olympic champion Paul Areng, but actually lost when he met Tom McKean at Gateshead. He's the 3A's champion, lives in Nairobi and is coached by Kim MacDonald of Great Britain. Tom McKean, of course, coached by Tommy Boyle.
On your mark.
The men's 800 metres, 2 laps of the track. Tony Morel, also in the field, will be determined to run well. He fell in Oslo last Saturday in a 1500-metre race. He seems to be an unlucky sort of athlete. McKean, encouragingly, has gone straight to the front with Stanley Redwine, the pacemaker from the United States, wearing number 10. Steve Ovett.
Well, this looks like an all-out attempt by Tom to get a very fast time. Stanley Redwine's gone screaming off there, and Tom stuck to him. I think quite rightly now he's easing off of Redwine, because the pace of that first 200 metres was absolutely electric. But this leaves Tom in an awkward position here of being in front with the rest of chasing him. I only hope that he can benefit from being so far in front and use his head, cool the paces slightly, and come back over the last 200 metres of this race. But searingly fast, 48 seconds Redwine went through that first lap in.
Well, in Tom McKean's times, 50.1.
A very fast opening lap then. And Redwine's waiting for the rest to close on him. McKean still in second, Tanui is third, Whittle's having a good run here in fourth, and it looks like Martin Steele in fifth. And now coming wide on the bend is Mark Everett. Surprised we haven't seen much of the American yet. Everett, who was the world's fastest until he lost to Johnny Gray in Oslo last Saturday. Now he's coming. Whittle's running very well here. Everett is in a good position to strike. He's had to work hard on the outside. And young Martin Steele behind him, #1, running splendidly here. McKean still in front. Steele is stealing up literally on the outside of all of them, and now Tanui's come widest. What a race this is. McKean is struggling badly. McKean's out of it. Everett leads. Tanui second. Steele and Whittle the next best placed British athletes, and Hurd stealing up on the inside. Tanui second, Hurd third, Whittle fourth, Steele was fifth, and McKean was way back in 6th place. Morel also finished very fast there for Britain. What a race, what a disappointment for Tom McKean.
Well, that just shows you, doesn't it, if you are not careful with these tactics, how it can really affect you. Poor Tom must have blistered himself over that first 200 metres. Look at him here. He really has got no response to the pack coming around him at this particular stage. It's quite sad to see that, but Everett there is the world's #1 at the moment, #7, storming away at this particular stage, looking over his shoulder, I suppose, to see if the Kenyans or anybody can come up on him at this particular point. He can't. Tanui is a clear second, but watch Hurd on the inside here come through for 3rd spot. Great late run from him, but way back in the pack is Tom McKean. There he goes across the line now.
Well, that British battle with Hurd, Whittle, Steele and Morel finishing in that order. I timed Steve Hurd 1:46.3. Well, Steele wouldn't have been far from there. That's the #1 there, so he'd have run a personal best.
Well, that's good performances from all the other British guys, but poor old Tom there in #4 at the back of that pack must be wondering what's happened to his legs over that last 400 metres.